Well, good morning, everyone. This is today's severe weather outlook, and tragically, we had tornadoes verify in the areas yesterday that were outlined as having a high risk of pretty significant tornadoes. And here are the reports for the last 24 hours. There is clearly one supercell that developed all these tornado reports here just to the east of Jamestown, and a separate one, it looks like, or maybe two storms. I didn't check the radar. But between Jamestown and Fargo, North Dakota, and obviously this is in the state of North Dakota, and according to news reports that I've seen, I think 3 people lost their lives. Very tragic up there. Which it's a sparsely populated area, so just really unfortunate that had to happen that way. And the wind gust, and we were talking about that yesterday as well, and you're seeing some of these right, 94 mile per hour wind gust there, almost 100 miles per hour wind gust off to the north and northeast of Bismarck, North Dakota, which is right there, and then Fargo is right there. So this was a very energetic supercell situation that quickly turned into a Boeing segment that had almost a mini low pressure area, and really it is a mini low pressure area. It develops at the curl of the squall line, and that alone produced wind gusts that were pretty off the charts and didn't even have to be associated with a thunderstorm. So I'll probably find video on that from the radar. It's just a little not enough turnaround time to get all that organized here this morning, but maybe in future videos. Anyway, it will not be as bad today, but there will be some severe thunderstorms. Here's the setup for today. All of this right here is blow off and outshoot from that storm system last night, and you can even see the circulation still of the that I was talking about that the thunderstorms actually produced. And then there are still some active storms from Minnesota into Wisconsin this morning. Let's see what the HRRR is simulating. That's the radar cluster of the storms right now that will dissipate as it moves southeast, and then we're seeing a regeneration of storms in Wisconsin and Minnesota here tonight. Again, some of these Boeing segments that are really good at producing severe gusts of wind and some tornadoes as well. Now, we'll go ahead and take a look at the outlook for today. Kind of a smattering of level ones there, North Dakota, parts of South Dakota, Nebraska. But then the major connected area, actually, this level 2 is connected. The Storm Prediction Center just doesn't forecast for Canada, and that's Ontario right there. So yeah, this is all part of the same thought process here, and that's those thunderstorms that I showed you that are going to be developing and moving overnight in through these areas here later on tonight. There is a tornado risk with this. It is less than the one yesterday, but still significant. UP and Michigan and the upper part of the lower peninsula of Michigan with a 2% chance. And then that small little area there of northwest Dakota, seeing a small little area here of tornado threat. Nadocast from the 0Z run last night does kind of indicate some activity in that one area, and then puts actually a 5% tornado risk up in Ontario. And that model does run into Canada, and there were tornadoes reported in Canada. And while I'm on that subject, Canada does get, depending on the weather conditions, of course, probably more tornadoes than you think in the summertime. It's a sparsely populated area, but chasers do go up there and get tornadoes all the time up there in the prairies. So it's very common. It's because the jet stream has shifted north this time of year, so you need those strong winds to really get that shear going so you can get supercells at the very least to develop. The CSU thunderstorm probability for today breaks it into 3. This is tornado right here. A lot of that's up in Canada, but enough of it is kind of oozing down into the Arrowhead region, UP of Michigan, northern Michigan, to be of note. And the wind probabilities, again, are very high. This is a telltale sign of those thunderstorm bands that form those Boeing segments that are capable of producing some pretty severe winds. And then on Sunday, tomorrow, we have a level 2 from Nebraska straight into the heart of Minnesota, including parts of Wisconsin, the UP again, and even the Dakotas. So again, it can't be stressed enough that this time of year in June, when the jet stream shifts north, that's where the thunderstorms find the best chance of being organized. Also, level 1 out there in New York State, including Philadelphia, New York City, Albany, and parts of New England as well. Now, the tornado outlook for tomorrow is actually higher. So there's a 5% of a tornado within 25 miles in the central and northern part of Minnesota, with a 2% risk extending down into Nebraska. And again, that's something that we'll have to watch. The Colorado State University plot shows the highest tornado probabilities right there in the Arrowhead region, just off to the east of International Falls. And again, kind of dribbles down into parts of Nebraska, but the main tornado threat appears to be in that exact same area we just showed you, with some hail probabilities fairly high on Sunday, and the severe risk of damaging winds. And you'll notice this has this striped area here, this hatched area, I should say. That's where the probability of wind gusts exceeding, I believe it's 75 miles per hour for CSU too, is at 10% or higher. So pretty intense again tomorrow, Sunday, through northern Minnesota. Then on Monday, the Storm Prediction Center is still talking about northeast Iowa up to Michigan, and including the heart of Wisconsin in a level 2. CSU's probabilities on tornadoes not as heavy, but still there at a 2% risk. And again, when you go farther out in time, you just get, kind of a washed out look more and more. But there is still probabilities in line with what the Storm Prediction Center is talking about. Now, they do not pull the trigger on anything from the period 4 through 8 day. So we'll just go ahead and go through the CSU outlooks real quick. Tuesday, Great Lakes states, northern Ohio and Indiana up into New England. And then on Wednesday, sinking south. Now, keep in mind, throughout all this period, this big old high pressure system is building with hot temperatures. So it's going to kind of suppress organized severe thunderstorm activity. But still, on Wednesday, the Carolinas up to Pennsylvania. Thursday, back to around the Chicago area, northern Illinois and Indiana. And on Friday, again, kind of washed out there, but again, there's probably room for more focus as we get closer to that period. June 21st, today through the 27th, the supercell composite is scattered a little bit, but still favoring those areas we just showed you, including parts of Ontario that aren't always covered in all these forecasts. June 28th through July 4th, we're looking at a little bit more to the south on the supercells into Kansas, and certainly this is expected this time of year in the heart of the Dakotas, Wyoming, Nebraska, over into Iowa and Minnesota. And then this is the week 3 outlook, which covers the period July 5th through the 11th. We have this band, and my interpretation of that is that the models are encouraging the same kind of pattern where you have an encouragement of banding of bow echo type events. If they last long enough, they can be classified as a derecho, which is just a longer period of straight line winds with embedded tornadoes possible. Thanks for watching today's edition of Severe Thunderstorm Outlooks. This is published every day after the morning Storm Prediction Center update. Also, remember to check that site off on day 1 because they update it fairly frequently. If you like this video, please like it. Also, you can subscribe to the channel for more content just like this.